Hello everyone. Is this thing on? Says it is. Okay. So I want to discuss a little bit about what it is that we're going to be doing for this project here. Okay. So week one, I gotten a few questions. So week one is just literally just going out and finding these objects in the real world. And so I just walked up and down my street here and found, quite a few examples, just kind of just walking around. Now, some of these things might be a little more difficult depending on where you live to find these things just in your surroundings, because we're all supposed to be being quarantined, and so we shouldn't be out, ramming the streets here. But so that being said, okay, I'm just going to show you a little bit of what I found just walking up and down my street. And then, of course, some of these things, if you can't find them in your location, or just having some difficulties, you can go online and find some real world examples. But I want some real world examples. I don't want you to just take a picture of a triangle and there's your there's your isosceles triangle. Like, I don't want you to just pull an isosceles triangle off the internet. I want you to actually find like a real world example of what one looks like. Come on, get down. Alright, stop. Jeepers, every time I get on the Zoom. But anyway, so I'm just going to kind of do a brief description of what it is I'm actually looking for, and then how it is I want you to try to hand it in this week. Okay, so hopefully you guys have taken the time to actually look at the assignment and see what it is that we're doing. Where was I going with that? Anyway, so let me just demonstrate what I'm talking about. Okay, so on our sheet here, let me pull it up here. Should be under geometry. There it is, geometry project, week one. Okay, so I don't want to open that up here. I want to open it up in Word. Hey, dude. Like, good Lord, cat, go somewhere, please. Jeepers. So, I'm going to open this up in Word. Okay. You guys might have to... Trying to think, if you don't open it up in Word, you might be in trouble here. Let me see. Let me go back to my OneDrive, because I sent all you guys the PDF file. So let me see. I'm going to just demonstrate it with that. Okay. So, yeah, your best bet, guys, honestly, go to your Microsoft Word, because it's not going to let you put these things in a PDF, okay? The PDF will just give you a general sense of what it is I want. So basically what I want you to do is just to put these examples, okay, find them out in the real world, and then just kind of stamp them into your Microsoft Word document, okay? So that might be a pain in the butt, copy and pasting these things, but there's not that many examples, square, rectangle, right triangle, stuff like that, okay? So did I take any pictures of any circles? I'm not too sure. Let me see what I have for pictures, but this is what I want you guys to do for this week. So I did take a picture of a square, all right? So let me put this in here, okay? So I got my cursor, all right, it's underneath 2, okay, and then you're going to go to Insert. Okay, now why I was encouraging you guys to do this on your iPad is because all this stuff's right here. Now, if you did it on your iPhone, you might have to email it to your MyCRCS account. Okay, and if you're having some difficulty with this stuff, just please email me, you guys. So here's an example of a square. Okay, this is something I have here at my house. Okay, oops, I posted it twice. I only want once. Okay, so here it is. Shrink it down. All right, here is an example of a square. All right, so that's all I want you to do for this week, is just to find these objects in the real world. I don't want you to go too heavy on this. I'll start to demonstrate what it is we're going to do with the mathematics behind this, but the whole object for this week is to just make sure you guys have these things, okay? So this is how you insert your picture here, okay? Now I can adjust the size, okay? So maybe I don't want it to take up that much space, but there we go, okay? So there's my example of a square, all right? And now I do have an example of a rectangle, all right? This comes from the same picture here, but I enlarged it, all right? And so now, here's my picture of my rectangle, okay? Now obviously it's not that one that you have to be number one, but there's my rectangle. That's actually an overhead picture of my record player, okay? So, whoops, I put it in the wrong section. That's okay. Let me move this bad boy up here. So I'm going to put it right here. Oh, where's it going? It's touchy sometimes here. Okay. That's the only issue I've kind of run into. It's just you got to make sure you give yourself some space here. Okay. So here's your picture of your rectangle. There we go. All right. So I want you to find two examples of the squares and two examples of the rectangles. Okay. So. So that's how you insert the pictures here, okay? Now I found a bunch of different pictures, so I got, here is, oops, I didn't want to post that here. Well first I'm going to shrink this down too as well, okay? I'm going to copy it, I'm going to delete it, and I'll paste it down here for my right triangle, right? Because this is supposed to be an example of a right triangle. And, oops, nope. I think I just want to hit the paste button. There we go. Come on, man. There we go. So there's an example of a right triangle. Okay, doesn't have to be pretty here, guys. I'm just trying to get you to get to your examples. Now, if you're not seeing that right triangle, there it is. Whoops. Okay. You can kind of see it, and all I did was I just took the corner of my desk and I just shifted my computer over, and look, there you see a right triangle right there. Okay, now that's kind of a shoddy, representation, but that is a right triangle. All right, as you can see that clear spot, there's a right triangle right there. So let me post a couple other pictures here. Let me see. Let me shrink some of these down too, 'cause that's another issue you run into, is these things just get really big. Okay, so try to shrink them down, just fit them in here. All right, and let me move this rectangle up here. Okay, there we go. And you'll get more used to this thing as you play along with it. Okay, it's not a perfect setup, but it'll allow you to put these pictures in there. Okay, let's see what other pictures I took here. So, ooh, got another picture of a right triangle. All right, so let me post that in here. Let me go underneath this here. All right, so you can see there's my cursor right there. I'm going to go to Insert, go to your Photos. This is going to come in huge. But there we go. All right, and as you can scroll in here, you can kind of see a picture of that right triangle as well. All right, it's kind of caught off by the shade a little bit, but there it is. And that was just a picture of the sidewalk out in front of my house. All right, so sometimes if you just go out looking for this specific object, you might not exactly find it, but just keep your eyes open as you walk around, and you should find most of these objects. See, now this right here, again, this is just a picture. All right, so let's do 2 lines cut by a transversal. Okay, doesn't say parallel lines, it just says 2 lines. All right, so in this particular problem, it doesn't have to be parallel. All right, and so here is a picture, 2 pencils, all right, with my pen overlaying top of it. Okay, and that's 2 lines cut by a transversal. Okay, that's it. All right, it doesn't have to be anything crazy here, guys. We're just trying to find real world examples, and I'm just, you know, you don't have to be, you can be goofy with it. Here's an example of two parallel lines. All right, this came right from my house. All right, this is just, whoops, where's it at there? Okay, examples of some parallel lines. All right, this is just my banister as you come up into my house, but you can see those banisters are nice and straight. Okay, let's find another picture here. Ooh, here's a good one up here. Isosceles triangle. Okay, let me shrink it down. Come on. All right, where you at here? There. And sometimes it's easier too if you just kind of scroll out as far as you can. You can kind of maneuver these things around. But an example of the isosceles triangle, there it is. And you can see it inside that little sign right there. All right, now, this is all I want you to do for this week. So just find these examples and try to post them either on a Word document or, I mean, maybe you could post them in a Notability, but somewhere we were allowed to upload these items. And I found that Microsoft Word is the easiest, okay, because you can just literally just list it underneath there. All right, there you go. Okay. So now the next part of what I'm going to show you will involve what I want you to do with these pictures. Okay, so week one is just finding these examples in the real world. All right, and I did this literally, these pictures right here I found in a matter of, 20 minutes just walking around my house. Okay, here's an example of a pair of squares. All right, let me zoom out here, scroll it up here. Where are we at? There we go. Let's see if I can move that down. There we go. So it's there you go. And so there is a picture of a couple of squares. All right, so there's my two examples of squares. All right, found that just out walking around. All right, there's two examples of my right triangle. Find two examples of a rectangle. All right, I could use this picture here as a square, or, oh look, I could use it also as a rectangle. All right, and there's squares in the corners. There's a rectangle right up in the top there. Now this one's kind of cut off, but this is literally just a picture of the church door. Okay, so this is what I want you guys to do for week one. All right, I was hoping you guys would sign in and ask these general questions on how I want you to upload these, but this is how I want it to look. So hopefully you guys have already started going out and looking for these. All right, and so in the next demonstration, I'm going to show you how to, what it is I want you to do with these pictures, okay, once they're saved to your iPad. So try to take these pictures with your iPad. I think that would be the easiest. But if you want to use your phone, or you happen to be out and about and you see an object and you want to snap it with your phone real quick, you can. Just make sure that you try to send these photos to either your email, try to get them on your iPad, okay? All right. Or if you want to upload them one at a time to Teams, you can, but I think that would be more time consuming. And honestly, I mean, look, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pictures on there, and it took me a matter of 10 minutes, okay? So my suggestion, use Microsoft Word, upload these files using the insert button, and then the insert, you just click the picture, and then you can go to any photo. So again, what else do I have here? Ooh, okay. Here's another example of a isosceles triangle. All right. I mean, this is a picture of my neighbor's house. But as you can see in the roof, there it is. Now, one of these questions was, find an example of an obtuse angle. Okay. Well, I would certainly say that, where's it at here? That this angle here is definitely not 90. Okay, it looks like it's a little farther. So I'm going to use this as an example of an obtuse angle. So I'm going to scroll down here. Or maybe I can use it for an obtuse triangle as well. All right, whatever you decide there. Okay, so you could have it as an isosceles because it looks like an isosceles triangle. Okay, definitely looks like that angle, that vertex at the top of the roof is more than 90. So I could use that either for an obtuse triangle, okay, or I can move it up here and use it as an obtuse angle. Okay. Same thing with, well, I was going to use a straight angle, but a straight angle, guys, is just basically a line. All right, it means that there's no, it's just a straight line. All right, so I can also use this picture. Look at right on the bottom there, we got those two yellow lines there. We can use that as a straight angle. Boom, measure that out. That's a straight angle. So actually, we got two pictures in one. Let's see, do we have an acute angle in there? No. Darn it. Could have killed three birds with one stone. But that's what I'm looking for. Okay? So hopefully this helps you.